Alright. Welcome to the King tutorial. Yay. King. Wow, my notes aren't very long, but it's like a page and a half. My notes for Shen were 2 pages and a half. Let's see, my notes for the Ioris were 3 pages. My notes for Athena were like 2 pages and a third, but King is only a page and a half, so perhaps this will be a shorter video. Or maybe I just am getting better at taking notes. I don't know. King. King's a popular character, although people seem to have the wrong idea about how to play her. She is a defensive fireball character. She has the best fireball in the game because the hard one goes really fast, the EX one goes super duper fast, and she has this in the air and she can move with them, like that. And she has great space control to complement with them. So she's probably the best fireball character in the game in terms of playing with fireballs, in my opinion, at least. So, as far as how to use fireballs, go watch my video number 8, I think, my neutral game video. There will also be a link in the description to Juicebox's paste bin on how to use projectiles. His video on projectiles, he had a pretty good one. Let's see what else will be in there. I guess the frame bit. I should really probably post the frame bit in these. So I might go through all my videos and post the frame bit on there. But I mean, just Google KOF13 frame data and it'll be a doc on Google. So anyway, King. As far as how difficult she is, she's really easy, actually. She's one of the easiest characters in the game, in my opinion, at least. That might just be because I play her a lot, but she's very simple. Her combos are easy. She has some hard variants, but I don't know. I might show you one of those later on, but probably not. As long as you understand how to use projectiles and you understand how to rush down, then you know how to play King, because that's all King is her digital game is all about fireballs and controlling space with standing hard kick, standing hard punch, jump CD, jumping B, and movement in combination with those attacks, and fireballs. I said fireballs at the beginning, but let's see, normals. This is pretty bad. This will miss on most characters crouching. Standing A. There is no close A. It's just standing A. This will hit on some characters crouching, like Daimon, but she is kind of tall, so you can anti-air with this, but she has standing hard punch. Far hard punch is actually faster on the startup than standing late punch. So I really don't see any use for this unless you want to like it will combo from crouching, but it won't. But if they block this, it's not gonna hit. You can, you can chain. Let's see. I guess use it against Daimon pressure. It is +1 on block, so I don't know. Standing B is one of the best moves in the game. Unfortunately, it's not chain. Like you can't keep chaining, but you can chain into slide, and you can chain into it, and this is going to be your basic confirm tool is low B, stand B. There's no way to miss that. It does hit low. Standing guard, no block highs, block overheads. Excuse me, there's little children in my house and they're screaming their heads off. Not my children. So this does hit low. It's only -1 on block, So, it's going to be one of your most used moves, I think. Pharmacy, however, is probably your best standing normal overall. This starts up in 4 frames. 4 frames. Standing right kick and far hard punch both start up in 4 frames. This is ridiculous. Jab is 5 frames, so 4 frames. This is what you're going to be answering house with. And it's so fast. You can actually react. Assuming they time their jump in right. Not too early. This will even be jump. Like, Athena has a really high jump. And it'll still just kind of beat it sometimes. Even if it's not hot. Okay, maybe not Athena. Maybe Athena is too high of a jump. But this will just kind of beat everything. If you need a little bit more reach, hard kick. Far hard kick is really good, although it's, let's see, that is 8 frame startup. Great poke, and it actually, this doesn't look like it, but it actually hits crouchers. Whereas far hard punch will miss on most crouchers. Again, sorry Daimon, but really you only want to occupy the airspace with these, but it doesn't really matter. It is -5 on block, so if you have something that reaches that far, that's 5 frames, then go ahead and use it. Close variants, you have close hard punch, which is actually 6 frames. It's slower. It's significantly slower. It's 50% slower than far hard punch. Close hard punch will actually chain. It looks like it might anti-air, but it really doesn't. I'll go ahead and show this off. Oops. No, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, this isn't really working out too well, is it? Yeah. This move is basically useless outside of, you know, at point blank range chaining. But then you also have hard kick, close hard kick, which ends up doing more damage anyway. In most scenarios, I only ever use close hard punch on accident, or in HD combos because it doesn't take as long. You're on like a time restraint for HD combos. So. Also, close hard kick is 5 frames, so it's faster on setup. Yeah. So you can confirm off of just this one move. Let's see. That's really all there is to it. This is -6 on block, I guess. So it's punishable, whereas close speed is only -2. But why would you not go in the slide? Well, I guess guard cancels. But, standing CD is pretty good. It's one of our few moves that actually reaches after 3 pokes. You have hard kick. You have slide. I'll get into that in a second. Excuse me. Oh gosh. I didn't just eat or anything. It's 0 on block. 13 frames. It's pretty good. It uses for its range and often cancel into fireball. This is the thing that you want to use it for. Is going to cancel it into fireball and then pressure with it, because they don't really have a way out of this. Like, they can try to jump, but yeah, there it worked. But it's so slow, you can just anti-air it. Basically, they have to guard, cancel, roll, or block the fireball, or like Shiny can like absorb it and get the meter. But this is a really good string to use. Is standing CD into light fireball. Crouching normals. Crouch A is actually +3 on block. It's their best guard advantage. But it doesn't go like anywhere. It's not like this. This like goes nowhere. Dear God. Not very useful, especially considering her crouching light kick is so much better. it is cancelable and chainable, whereas crouching light kick is not. As you can see, just like most characters, but it's less useful for King because she just does standing light kick and does all the same stuff, does more damage, and hits low. Although if you do want guard advantage, you know, you can confirm with this instead if you wanted to, because this will chain in this sliding combo. So it's almost useless. As for low B, by the way, these are both 5 frames on startup. 5 frames, 5 frames. The chain time is different though. It's slower on the jabs than it is on the kicks. Crouching light kick is only +1 on block. That's really the only downside. It goes really far, although typically you want to poke with standing light kick and then chain it into slide and firewall to stay safe. Did I mention her walk speed is really good? Like, it's really good. Like, of all the characters to walk with, I think King is like one of the biggest ones because she walks really, really fast. Her pokes are really fast and go really, really far and occupy very important parts of the space. She has difficulty against characters like Athena who have high jumps, but then that's why she has crouching hard punch, which is another 5 frame normal. It's basically only anti-air. It's not the best. It's not like Matures. It's not Iori. It's not anything special, but it does work. It does function for the most part. Yeah, maybe not so much against Athena. Yeah. Ooh, that cost up. Like I said, she has a hard time with certain characters that jump really high, but let's see. This is always minus. It's -5 on hit, so don't ever use it on the ground without chaining, and don't, or when like anti-airing. Let's see. Oh, there's I didn't put this in my notes. There's a really useless link from crouching light punch to crouching hard punch. But, nah, not very useful. Let me think. What is useful? I guess you can do this. You can do crouching and then HD. So you can do crouching light kick, crouching light punch. This is a 2-frame link into far hard punch. It should be a 2-frame link because all the frame data or all the hit stun and block stun is like the same in this game. It's kind of weird. Yeah, you can't chain off of this, and it's not cancelable, so you need to do an HD there. So that is an option, although there are better ones. Let's see. Crouching hard kick, don't use this. It's 9 frame startup, it's -10 on block, it causes a soft knockdown. Like, there's nothing good about this move. It looks like light kick, only it's slower and bad. And her boobs jiggle, I guess. That's it. You're gonna get this on accident when you want slide, I guess, is the only time that you use it, is on accident when you don't know what side you're on. Yeah, don't ever use it. As far as slide, this is 12 frame startup. Oops. 12 frame startup, but it's -5 at point blank. So they can punish this. It's -5, but you can space it, obviously. So you can do stuff like this. Whoa. And that'll be pretty safe. Let me get a guard here. Yeah, it's pretty safe if you do it off of a string. And it's really good if you space it. This is a really good poke. It goes further than you think it does, based on looks. It goes right about here. Right there. And it's still cancelable. very useful when chained into some like standing light kick, close hard punch, close hard kick, even the second hand close hard kick. This should be another one of your most used attacks. If you want a combo, you know, you can go into anything really. You can go into this. But on block, you want to go into the light fireball or EX fireball. Actually, if you're not sure, do EX fireball, because EX fireball also pops up for a juggle. A combo. Let's see here. That's really it for grounded normals, so let's go into jumping normals. Jumping A, don't use this. Don't use this ever. Hard punch reaches at a better angle and it hits harder. And it's only 1 frame slower. This is 6 frames. It's really slow. 5 frames is your fastest air normal, which is jumping B. But this will miss on, I believe, everyone crouching. I didn't check this one. I should have checked some of these. Like this one I didn't check, and this one I didn't check. But it's a really good air-to-air, and because she hops kind of low, most jumps will go right over this, and you can just catch them with a jump B. So really good kings when they're at like this spacing, and they don't really have any like reason to go in. So just hop away with this, maybe hyper hop away. C 7 frames is really good actually. This is one I jump in with a lot. And you'll develop this skill of being able to tell where it will cross up. It's like right here. Walk forward. So right there. So it can cross up, although her most consistent cross up is jump hard kick. But jump C is a really good jump in. Like air to ground. It just works so well. As far as hard kick goes, it is 6 frames, so it's faster. And it reaches further horizontally, but it doesn't go like as far. It's easier to anti-air, is what I'm trying to say, I guess. So typically, you can use hard punch. They accomplish similar tasks, but hard kick works from further away. And in general, hard punch is the same, sometimes harder to anti-air. But it's good to mix up what air normals that you use. I guess that's why you had jumping A. It's just to have something different to use. However, jumping CD is 12 frames during a hop and 13 during a jump. And this hits like everywhere. It hits up and down. Like I'll try and show this off. Let's see here. Yeah, so it does hit up there, as well as let's see. Wow. As well as down there. I believe 1 more frame later, it'll still hit. Right there. So it hits basically everywhere. But it is slower, so it's 12 frames. So if you want to air-to-air someone, you want to use jumping B or jumping C or D. Usually jumping B is your air-to-air tool. Whereas jumping CD is, you kind of don't know what they're going to do. If they hit a button really, really early, you're going to get beaten out because it's slow. Because it's 12 frames, but it hits everywhere, so it's like, even if they try to like jump over you, you're just going to catch them with that leg. That's it for her normals. Her throw is really good, actually. Her throw is a hard knockdown. It tosses them away. What you see a lot of kings actually do, which is not what I usually do. They run up and then super jump and cross up, although that's really easy to anti-air on reaction. Although sometimes it'll land in the front, making it a little bit weirder. What I do is I immediately throw a fireball, a light fireball, and then I run after it, because that hits really meaty. sometimes I'll go fireball if I think they're gonna try to like move or avoid the first fireball. Let's see. You can also just time a super jump, safe jump like that. Oof. And that's what I do. That's what I do in the corner. Usually, is I walk back a little bit and then try and hop in with a safe jump or an empty jump low. Now there is, well, okay. In a previous video, I believe it was. I don't remember. It was a while ago. But I talked about this throw being kind of weird. It's kind of glitched out for player 1. If you're player 1 and you immediately roll after throwing the opponent in the corner, you'll actually cross up on the other side. If you wait a little bit, then you won't. For both player 1 and player 2, you can just jump. Again, if you wait a little bit, hops also work. Although, what I usually do, if I do want to like gimmick with this, I can just time a jump at a really awkward time, and sometimes it'll cross up, and sometimes it won't. It's all about the timing of the jump. I gotta cross up, yeah. So, kind of gimmicky, but you know, it works. Let's see here. Special moves. Let's get right into these. Random strike. Fireball. The light one comes out in 12 frames, the hard one comes out in 9 frames and travels faster. Light. Hard. The EX comes out in 10 frames and is very fast. However, the light one recovers very quickly, and the EX one recovers very quickly and hits twice. Does the most chip damage. On hit, these don't launch except for the EX one. These just they stay on the ground. On the EX one, you get a juggle for a lot of damage. Let's see. If you do these at point blank range, the light one is the best, I guess. Not really, but it's -4 on block at point blank range. -4. The hard one is -9, but the EX one is at least +6. So point blank range, it's at least +6. The air version, you should do these in the air. Usually it's hard to get these to hit crouching opponents, but you can. And it's actually a little bit harder if they're not blocking, because their blocking animation is higher up than they're not blocking. You can get it to always work. You cannot get this to work, usually, on the way up. You cannot usually get this to work. Also, these die out eventually. It doesn't go ever. It doesn't go forever. Although that rarely comes into play unless someone's running away from the king, which makes no sense. Yeah. So to do these instantly, you do that motion there. It's called a tiger knee motion. If you do it too fast, whoops, I missed the button. If you do it too fast, you'll still get the grounded version. So you need to time the button press. It's pretty easy once you get the timing down. It's pretty easy. This is mainly useful for the hard version because the hard version makes you like flip back in the air. So you can like retreat while throwing fireballs. If you do manage to tiger knee these, you're rewarded with like better frame advantage, but it misses on crouches, usually. Let me tell this one more time. Jump. Yeah, usually you're plus if you land this at the like the minimum, at least on the light version. There you go. You can get it up to +3. You can get the hard version up to -8, and the EX version up to +12. And so, okay, so the light version just makes you freeze in place and fall down. Hard version makes you leap backward. EX version makes you just fall backward. But these all have like recovery on landing. Like you can see it there. So like crouches for a split second. All of these, including the EX version. Let's see. Oh, the air venom strikes actually do less damage. If you look at the damage here, the ground ones do 65, and yeah, let's just get rid of this. And 136. Air versions do just 60. Oh, and the air hard version will actually knock down, which is kind of weird. And then one hit of 120. So the ground versions do more damage as well. Let's see. Yeah, so when you're defending against air venom strikes, try not to block. Hold straight down or down forward. Don't hold down back, otherwise you'll be easier to hit. Unless you really think it's really low to the ground, in which case, yeah, you might want to block. Okay, so special trap shot is next. Oh, by the way, the air versions come out really fast. 6 on the light, 7 on the heavy, 6 on the EX one. So really, there's very few downsides to Tiger needing this. Trap shot. The meterless one is 9 frames. It is only combos. You might think, hey, it hits kind of upward, right there. You might think it's good anti-air, but it's really bad. And even if it does trade, it puts them on the ground in a reset state, so it's not very good. Like, you don't want to anti-air with this. However, the EX one is invincible, so you can anti-air with it. You can also wake up with it, etc. And the EX one is 5 frames startup. Let's see, Tornado Keep. So the light one will tend to miss on crouches, unless you hit them first. When you hit someone, their hitbox is increased in size. So certain moves that wouldn't have hit on crouching actually will combo. So the light one starts up in 13 frames. It's -6 on block, but again, they can just crouch to avoid it, so it's not ever going to get blocked anyway. And it actually recovers enough so that you can juggle something after it. And this is going to be used a lot in combos. As for the hard kick version, it starts up in 10 frames, goes further, and will hit crouchers. This is the light version. This is the hard version, quite a bit further. It's faster, but you don't get the same combos. You can combo after it with that super, but that's basically it. And this, I guess. But other than that, not really. The EX one is completely invincible. So it's like this, it's completely invincible, but you can't really combo after it. You recover too slow. Let's see. What this is mainly used for is, it goes really far, really quickly. The first hit goes like half screen. So if someone tries to jump over your fireball from full screen, you can just EX, and then it'll just straight up, it'll beat everything that they do, because it's fast and invincible. So that's what that's used for. My notes say the second hit of this misses on crouching, but they both do. Let's see. Oh, and as far as block advantage, these are all bad. All of them are bad. Hard version is -9. EX version is -15. Light version is -6 if you can somehow get them to block this. block both, but they probably won't. Supers. She has 2 supers. Surprise Rose is not an overhead. What this is it's basically a very fast anti-air or uppercut, because it hits on the way up and on the way down, and if it hits on the way up, it knocks them into the air, so the rest of the combo hits. And if they get hit on the way down, you get into the combo anyway. Although, quite honestly, you're not gonna get any scenarios in which the first part misses, but the second part wins, unless they're really stupid. Also, there's one child mode combo that requires you to hit with the second part of it, but yeah. Now the EX one does more damage and is 3-frame startup, so it's faster, and both of these are invincible, by the way, so you can wake up with these, you can anti-air with these, you can beat frame traps with these, etc. But the EX one is special. 10 10 10 30, 10 10 10 30, 10 10 10 100. 444 12, 444 12, 444 12, 444 100. The last hit always does 100 damage, which means that basically any combo that uses more than 1 bar is going to end with this super. So yeah, it's really good. This is how she gets her damage. Although, don't play King for her damage. She's pretty low damage. Let's see, her other super is Double Strike, which is the same except the travel speed of the projectiles. The light one doesn't travel fast. The hard one travels very fast. If you want to, like, say, you can EX, but it might be too slow. You can just do a hard version of Double Strike for the same meter, and it's faster and does more damage. Is it fast or hard? It might be slower. It's about the same speed, I think. Anyway. Let's see. That's Double Strike. Oh, startup is 8 frames on this. But it's not invincible, and you can't combo after it unless you, like, do very specific juggles. Venom Shot. Kicks. Hits a variable number of times. You can do this in the air as well. I believe you can do this during backdashes. Maybe not. Maybe I'm wrong. It kind of doesn't matter because you have the ground version. You can wake up with this. If you hit him perfectly, which is like right here, then you're gonna get more. The max damage you can get off this is 540, I think. That's all I've been able to get is 540. Come on. That's 480. Maybe it is 480. I thought it was 540. There it is, 540. If you hit them, like, right above their head and a little bit forward, you're gonna get all the hits and get 540 damage. This is scale damage though, and in HG combos it's 2 bars, which means that usually you're gonna end your combos in Surprise Rose, and not this move. However, this move does have a use. Check this out. All guard. All guard. You block lows, overheads, cross-ups. Whoops. But she doesn't block that. And this is not unblockable. This is not unblockable. What this is it starts up in 0 frames, or if you play Skullgirls, it actually starts up in -1 frames. This is a 0 frame startup move. which means as soon as you do the move, the game stops running and the super flash happens. And while the screen is still black, she strikes with the move, okay? So if you aren't blocking before she presses the buttons, then you'll get hit, basically, at close range. So what this means is this is why I picked Athena. I'm doing a crouched light kick and then blocking. And I'm still blocking. I'm still blocking. Still blocking. Okay? Crouched light kick with her is 0 on block. You can check the frame data. You can check anything. It's even on block. It is 0 on block. So obviously you can't punish it, right? You can with this move. It's 0 frames because the frame before the move came out, she was in the middle of her light kick, actually at the very end. But the point is, she wasn't blocking before the super flash, therefore she got hit. So this is the ultimate punish tool. You can punish anything that's not plus on block. That's what it's used for, although it is a heavy investment, and you're only going to get like 300 damage on ground hit, like 350 or something like that. Oh my. 390 on that. If they're crouching, I think it's actually less. No, it's the same. But 330 on the corner, so yeah. Is it worth the meter investment of both drives and 3 bars? Eh. I think it's gonna win you the game, maybe, but that's what that's for. Random shot. Actually, you can do this. This is kind of I've been hit by this more than once. Cross up into. Let's see. The way you do this is quarter forward, and then, or I guess, you super jump with one of the quarters, like that, and then you just do quarter kicks, like that. And again, they can't block that on reaction. There's no way. I've been hit with that more than once. Let's put it that way. So. Also, you can do some weird option selects with it, like this, like that. But I'm not going to go into that. Check out Juicebox's video. I believe it's his Mysterio versus Reynald video. I think. I don't remember, but I think Mysterio did this. Oh, wrong buttons. Did this, whatever. And it was and it worked for some reason. So that's not something that I need to talk about. Combos. We're already in combos. Already in combos. So there's a couple of strings that you can use if you're perfect. If you're absolutely perfect, you can get crouch B, crouch B, crouch B, stand B, and then slide still. However, most of the time you're going to want this. Just 3 hits instead of 4. And then, well, that's because on block you can't do this. That will miss every time because you're pushed back further on hit or on block. You can also do confirm 2 hits of standing hard kick. That's a close hard kick. And again, on block, go with your fireball. On hit, go into the following combos. So these combos all work off of slide. If you're mid-screen and you want to spend nothing, you actually have a couple of options. The most basic thing that you can do is just hard tornado kick, and you'll get quite a bit of damage. And then running after it for offense. Or super jump for offense. Although I don't think that's a safe jump, so keep that in mind. If you want max damage, you want to use the light version instead. And then you use hard punch or hard kick. Like that, and you'll get max damage. Usually hard punch because it's easier. But this won't always work. If you do something like this, let's see, like that. Come on. Oops. That'll work. Yeah, I delayed it. But sometimes, okay, you can cancel the slide really late, like this. That's early, and the chop shot will miss. But if you wait a split second, then you slide further forward, and but you can still cancel. You get better combos that way. So sometimes for this combo you'll need to do that, is wait, and then do like tornado kick and then hard punch. That is max damage. However, you don't get offense after that, so it's not very good unless you really want to kill them off. Whoops. Yeah, you can't chase that in unless you like HD cancel or something, which is bad. So what you can do is standing light kick instead, which does quite a bit less damage. But you can cancel it into the light fireball. And this is probably the best thing that you can do. And then follow it in. You'll see a lot of high-level kings use this. This is probably the best choice you have. It's less damage than just this, but it's better offense. So let's see. If you have a bar to spend, you can go ahead and do this. EX fireball, heavy tornado kick. Very basic. If you have a drive, this is not very useful, but it's something that you can do. I try to save my drive with king unless I have the corner and I have like a whole bunch of drive meter that I have to spend one really. That's your best one bar or one drive cancel combo that I know of. There might be a better one. That's probably not. So just do the delay cancel on a slide, light, heavy kick. If we want to spend a bar and a drive, this one's pretty useful, I guess. This one is at least going to do 359 damage, but it might do more. It changes depending on how close to the corner you are. So, check this out. Like that, and then you have plenty of time to run in after that. Light fireball and then run in after it. However, if you're at like this range from the corner, you can run in and hit a button before they land. Actually, I wouldn't hit a button. I would try and trap shot it if I can. So like this. Oh wow, that didn't work. I was too close to the corner, so I should have done the corner variant, which I'll get to those. Almost. But that's going to be your highest damage for 1 bar and 1 drive mid-screen. And if you're in the corner, just adapt accordingly and try to hit Fierce Punch. If you are in the corner, your meterless combo is this: light, and then do a trap shot. This won't work mid-screen, so. And then I would meaty hard kick or something, you know. You have enough time to meaty, so. Let's see, for 1 bar, your best option is the EX Fireball, Light Fireball, and then Tornado Kick. Don't delay the Fireball either, because if you do, then you're not going to be able to combo off of this, like this. Come on. If you wait too long. And the Tornado Kick is going to miss, and you're going to be minus something, and they're going to punish you. So, quick cancel. There is a reason to delay the EX Fireball here, but that's, I believe it's a trial 9, I think is what it is. Anyway, for one drive, you can do this. It's basically the same as for mid-screen, except with 1 extra one of these at the beginning. If you're not sure what version of things I'm using, just check the input display on the left. Let's see. For 1 bar and 1 drive, you can do this. That's not right. Let me get the corner here. That's really good damage for 1 bar and 1 drive. So all it is cancel the second hit of heavy Tornado Kick into EX Fireball. Light Fireball, heavy kick. Okay. For 2 bars, I saw it there for a second. Or, I showed it there for a second. Just go into the heavy Tornado Kick and then EX Super. So, like, you're saying, as soon as I start hitting 2 bar combos, I start using the level 2 Super. So, if you have a drive to spend, you can do this. So this is basic bread and butter. This is probably my most used combo with King, honestly. Is that one? It's really good. It's spending 2 bars and 1 drive on this combo. You can get fancy, I guess, and do something like this. If you're good. But that's not very easy, not very practical. Anyway, where was I? That was 2 bars, 1 drive. I showed that one. Okay, so if you just have 3 bars, very basic. EX Fireball, Light Fireball, Heavy Tornado Kick, Level 2 Super. For 600 damage. Really good. Really, really good. This is also a commonly used combo of mine because it doesn't use drive. I basically pick King first against good opponents when I think I'll need drive for my second character. If you do want to spend 3 bars in 1 drive, you can do this. This combo's kind of hard. Should be 645. Yep. Okay. And the way you do this, if you do this immediately, if you do it as fast as possible, the super won't work. Okay. You need to delay that last tornado kick, like this. Delay. If you practice it, it should become pretty easy. But maybe not if you're, I don't know, online. But and that's all I use for combos. You really don't see like more than 3 bars because she's usually played first, so she can't have more than 3 bars. But HDs, same starters basically, just HD like that. You can HD off of slide like that, totally fine. This is the most basic combo that you can use. I only HD with her in the corner. I'm not going to show you any mid-screen or corner carry combos because they're not worth it, honestly. HD sometimes against certain players when you're about to win, basically. So let's see here. This is the one that is the most basic. Wait, what? Oh yeah, okay. And I always spend 2 bars or more. I don't ever do a 1 bar because then you get significantly less damage. So this does 670 damage, well, 660 damage. And what I did there was I did close C, as I said earlier. You typically only see close C used in HDs. Slide, delayed cancel into trap shot, and I just did this loop here. Four times. Light version, hard version, EX. There is a slightly better one, as in 1 point more of damage usually. Not that. You can do this. This will do 1 point more damage. And the way this works is they're late canceling the slide into HD, like that, which gives you close hard punch. And then you're immediately canceling the close hard punch into light tornado kick. Like that. That's all it is. And then from there you just do the loop 4 times in a row and then super. That's it. Although this actually does not work from as close to the corner. It's a little bit worse in terms of corner carry, whereas this one will work from here. Because of the second slide. Like that. Boom. For 3 bars, you can do this. Really fun combo. This does quite a bit of damage. So as you saw there, it was basically the exact same. Juicebox talks about this combo in his video, so I'll just go over it really quickly. Slide, heavy kick, tornado kick, cancel the second hit into EX fireball, and then run up and trap shot. The way to do this is really simple, just run up and then trap shot. That's all you need to do. If you do somehow have 4 bars to spend because you're playing king second or last, really there's no good combo for you besides the 3-bar one. You can try and experiment. I don't know any that do more damage than that 3-bar one, so that being said, that is actually the end of my notes. But again, I do want to talk about like general strategy, and I've talked about this before, but I want to say it here because there's going to be a lot of people asking about King, like, oh, she's a zoner. How do I play? No, she's not a zoner in like the Street Fighter or common fighting game sense. In the neutral game, she can control space very well. But like, okay, let me illustrate this. I've shown this 100 billion times. I think that was 14 fireballs, and the opponent just built a whole meter, and I don't even have half of one. So, if you're playing against someone who just does this a lot, Venom strike, Venom strike, Venom strike. I'm flipping away. Just sit there and block and wait. And then after like 100 Venom strikes, just jump in. You know. Because one jump-in combo is going to lead to significantly more damage than this chip damage is. So if you're a King player and you're just sitting here doing this, you're bad. You need to switch up the way you play. Because the light fireball is meant to be followed in, and the heavy fireball is meant to be a poke from this range. However, if you do wish to create space, as long as you're not just using fireballs, then you can totally just do this. But that's just like a complement to her games, to her gameplay. It is a way to control space. It is not a way to prevent the opponent from ever getting near you ever. That's not what it's meant to be used for. It's meant to control space. Just like, you know, standing hard kick and standing hard punch are meant to control space. Venom Strike is meant to control space way over there. So, for more on that, watch my neutral game video, which talks about this this concept. It talks about how to use the fireballs. It talks about how to punish the fireballs. So, that should be the end of this video. Rapid fire making videos now. So. I hope you enjoyed this one, but I also hope that you learned something from it, as always. And I'll see you in the next one, which will probably be not today, because I have a headache from all these little kids. Who's in here? I have a viewer. Who's in here? No one, by name at least. I have a missed call from Wisconsin. I don't know anybody that currently lives in Wisconsin, so I don't care.